Hello. So I'm working on a map editor, and I know you guys. I've shown this before. Well, I've shown a map editor before, but then I'm making a new one because I'm making a game engine, and I wanted to change the map editor I wrote before and fix it up. So you can scroll around the map, right? You can zoom in to certain things, whatever you want to zoom into. You can make the size of the object selector bigger. They're like pop-up windows, and you can press C and get information about things that are going on. So if you click an object, right, you can click where you want to add it. You can zoom in, still add objects. It's pretty cool, right? And it's all quantized to a grid. um but I noticed something really weird. So I had a limit of the amount of objects I could create, and I can get info about how many objects are being created right here. um so I have a visual representation of like junk data. So if you're familiar with C, you know that there's different, it's a very type specific language, right? So an int is actually do a char. I'll do a char because that's easier to remember it. Like a char goes from 0 to 255, right? If you go above 250, if you try to put a number above 255 into a piece of char data, it'll just wrap back around. So if you put anything above 250, here, let me do a test C. So let's do char. I'm gonna call it uint8 because it's the same size as a char. Uint8 type. Eight I equals 0, right? I, right? That's gonna return 0, right? Yep, that's 0. Now if we did 200, yeah, that's fine. The max it can do, I think, is 255, which is, what is that? 2 to the power of 8 minus 1. It should be that, yeah. So that should be right. Yep, but if I go above 255, whoops. Watch what happens. 256, 0. 257, 1. See how it wraps back around? 258, 2. So that can be problematic in your code. And so I don't think I wasn't keeping good enough track of that. And I mean, I know what I have to fix, but there's some interesting things that happen when it wraps back around. So watch, I'll keep adding objects. They slowly disappear. So that's the sign. When you're looking at them disappear, what do you think is probably happening? My guess is that it's wrapping back around to 0, and it's just deleting the previous objects because it's wrapping back around to 0, like I said, like I showed you before. Now it's going to start adding random junk data. So it's still adding that cabinet thing, and then it just keeps adding random weird junk data. Like, and then the objects get skewed. Look how wide that freaking TV is. Because the junk data just adds whatever it wants to add. All right. Boom, boom. Oh, what the heck is that? Is zoomed in. That is a different. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what it cropped out of my sprite sheet. So, GIMP. If I can show you the sprite sheet I'm working with. I took it from Pokemon. I don't know. I found it online somewhere. I don't know. It's supposed to be Pokemon. So this is a sprite sheet. So it's just cropping things out of that. But one time, it made something really weird. It's just kind of like a random generator at this point. Oh, it made a really big tile. A really big tile. We're getting up there in objects. Like before, like it would crash if I did 238. And I was a little confused because I'm like, why 238? Like what? Why would it? I don't know. Like it started to confuse me. I'm like an unsigned int, right? Uint 8 type, whatever, which is an unsigned int. No, unsigned short, I think. Unsigned char, which is I think is the same as an unsigned short. Yeah. Anyways, it goes from 0 to 255, like I said. But then the next one up is like 16 bits, so it's to the power of 8. 16 minus 1. That's, that number. So it'd wrap around that number. Why would it crash at 238? I mean, there could be like reasons for that I'm not understanding right now, but now, like, even if I try to select an object right now, it's like pointless. It doesn't do anything because it does what it wants. Oh, look at those stretched. It's just kind of stretching that. Ooh. Now it's like, what's going on now? Now my bookcase is getting smaller. As time goes on, the bookcase is like shrinking. Oh, what object? Oh. I think it's still the same size. But yeah, this is what junk data looks like. Like this. It's using the junk data like to crop things and like scale things. Yeah, well, at least it doesn't crash at 238 objects anymore. All right, well, I'm done with this. All right, that's all I really wanted to show you guys.